Finally.
All right, perfect.
Finally
Hello.
everything is working.
Hi, how's it going?
Yeah. Hello. How
Hello.
are you doing?
I'm good. How are you guys?
Yeah, we're good. We had a little bit technical issues here, but now it seems like we're
Yeah.
all back where we should be. So,
Yeah, back
how's
on
everything
track.
going?
Not too bad. Just had lunch here, so it's perfect timing for me.
All right. Yeah, could you please introduce yourself a little bit and also the game we're about to play?
Sure. My name's Dino. I'm a designer here at Big Blue Bubble. What you're playing now is Foregone. This is our action platformer. So what we tried to do is kind of combine the customization of something like an action RPG, so closer to Diablo or Path of Exile or any of those games, and then kind of meld it into this linear platforming storytelling style.
All right. Yeah. How does it feel to play it, Mila?
It's really smooth. I like the movements. Is this like 3D wise made into 2D like pixel art? How is this made?
Yeah, you nailed it. Basically,
Yeah.
it's that process exactly. It's all 3D, and then there's some effects to give it that pixel art style.
It's really good.
Yeah, it definitely brings back some memories, this one.
That's what we've heard a lot. Actually, there's been a lot of comparisons we get just to like older games and people's nostalgia playing up. So that's always exciting to hear.
Yeah, how's the feedback been on this game?
It's been pretty good. With the demo, we were able to kind of get more people into our Discord. We got a lot more feedback from that. So it's nice to have some confirmations of people asking for features that show up in the game a lot later, and then also just getting requests for things that we can look into in the future has been really good.
Sounds good. All right.
No time to reminisce. I need to find out if this infection has reached Project Hill.
Yeah, so now we're jumping into some kind of water over here.
Yeah, so this is still just our tutorial level where we kind of try to teach you all the mechanics, so the enemies here aren't too difficult just yet. We want people to not die in this early part, so hopefully it's...
Yeah, this is introduction. What's the sort of the goal with this game? What what are we doing here? What are we trying to accomplish in this game?
So this part of the story here, you're kind of just sent to investigate and see what's going on here. There's basically a corruption that's kind of hit the whole land, which is called the Harrow, and you can see it. You can see its effects here with all the destroyed landscape, and then all of these enemies are kind of. You'll see once you get to the kind of the next section, but all of these enemies are kind of revived versions of enemies you'll fight later on. So these are all undead in some way or mutated, and you're kind of trying to figure out what the source of all of this is.
All right. So it's like exploring, trying to find solutions, same time as lots of action. All right, here comes the boss.
Ooh.
Something stay dead? Change of plans, I suppose.
So has there been any big things on the way that you have had to overcome, sort of, when you made this game?
For us, it was just how quickly we actually were able to crank this out. I think all in all, I think the development was somewhere around 2 years, I think, for this thing, and it's a fairly long game. It's about 8 to 10 hours. So the amount we were able to cram in with our short time frame was, I think it was awesome. The team did a great job on that, and just the level of polish on all the visuals and stuff. Our artists just knocked it out of the park, I think.
You're getting the hang of this game really quickly over here. I see. Does it seem, Mila, does it seem familiar to some other games, or because I think you're learning?
You should be
Yeah.
out here, Warden.
I don't know what, but
It
it's really
seems to
fun.
come
and-
natural.
What do
Yeah.
you want from me?
You must correct your past.
We also definitely reduce the complexity in this early part as well. We try to introduce some more mechanics as you get a bit deeper into it. Shortly here, you're going to get your first kind of combat skill, which adds a little bit more depth to begin with, and then you'll get access to a skill tree as well pretty soon.
Ah, alright, so your character sort of develops here. Oh. Okay, there we go.
Did I?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What happened? No.
So now you've kind of completed our tutorial at this point, and now this
Oh.
is where the real gameplay kicks in.
Oh, alright. Oh, so now the real thing starts. Okay, here we have the
This should come in handy.
sort of the beginning titles. So now you gain some skills on the way.
It's equipped automatically for you
Oh, it's
here,
on. Ah,
and
okay.
yep, you can just immediately use that. And then this is this section here coming up. This is kind of your central hub, and this is where you
Check
can
my gear while I'm
customize both your equipment and your character overall.
Alright. Have you gotten this far before, Mila?
No. I just open it to game and played like minutes. That's it. So yeah, this is totally new. And this is really cool, like little city.
Yeah. Like the so there's maps and everything. How big is the world? How many?
The total levels is somewhere, not counting the tutorial stuff you just did, there's about 12 total levels, with about 10 boss fights in there as well. So, and then we threw in a couple secrets. Well, we threw in secrets in every level that'll kind of force you to use things that you've acquired after the fact to go back into that level and kind of acquire more power as you want, if you want to explore.
Alright, yeah, so you can find new things in the things you already played through by using more stuff than you get on the way. Okay. Now that's like a little bit more like this like exploring kind of feel to it.
Yeah, it's not quite a Metroidvania. I'd lean it towards something like Metroidvania Light, if that, because we do give you some of the standard stuff like a wall climb or ground smash. And so you'll see like in this first level, there's spots that you can't access, but you will later on when you get a wall climb or ground smash.
Simba over here is saying, getting some Dead Cells vibes from this one.
Oh, certainly, yeah. It's not the first time we've heard that. I'd say that the pixel art style, the 3D to 2D, those are very similar things, of course. We are not roguelike in any way whatsoever, so the game is linear. All the levels are kind of handcrafted for us. It's story driven. We want people to complete the game. That's kind of our goal.
Teleporting action over there or something? Whoa, yeah, oh.
That's our no dialogue teleporter tutorial right there.
Alrighty. We got a comment here. My internet is showing its strength as well, getting double pixel art treatment on the game picture here. Alright. So we're having...
I think one of our biggest hurdles is just convincing people to use their combat skills. We found that that's something that we definitely want to address and something we've gotten feedback on. So like everyone gets that dash at the very start of the game, and then they just play with their sword and their gun, and that's it. When really they'll have a much easier time if they're actually using their damaging skills at the same time as their standard melee and ranged combat.
Yeah. People get used to use the sword, and then they just... I'm guilty of doing that sometimes as well. So how many of these different weapons can you get in this one? How many so far? Or
we just introduced 2 new ones, so the total now is I gotta count really quick in my head. Hold on. So we got the daggers, we got the one-handed sword, there's a two-handed sword, there's a war scythe, and then there's gunchucks and a spear. So 6 melee, and then we have your pistol, your shock pistol, your shotgun, your longbow, and your burst rifle. So 5 ranged.
all right, yeah, that's. And still, people are using the sword.
There'll be better stuff that drops, and then hopefully that tempts switching around a bit more. So this is kind of one of our teaching moments where that can't be accessed unless you get some skills later into the game.
Yes, this leaves something open that you will remember that, oh, okay, I couldn't get there. Maybe I can go later. Let's hope we can see some of those boss fights here soon. Where are we?
The boss is a bit away still. This is probably maybe a quarter of the way through the demo at this point.
Oh.
That's kind of one of our situations where using the skills would be really helpful, because there's a heal that you now have access to, so you can channel that to heal yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Now, when you die, you do lose all of your currency, but you retain everything else. And if you get back to that point where you died, you can just collect it all. There we go. Yeah, so I'd say that's about a quarter of the way through the demo at this point right now.
Well, what has been the most frustrating with this game? Do you have
Uh,
anything like that's been really like that you really had to overcome?
I think one of the big ones was actually just making the combat difficult initially when we first had everything kind of working to actually a playable state. So originally we had a lot of single enemies just placed around, and the combat was so simple that nobody was really challenged when they were playing it. And it took a lot of it sounds so simple, but it took a lot of iterating and trying to figure out the best way to place a group of enemies to make rooms challenging. So we ended up landing on this sort of challenge room design where you have like individual encounters that you have to deal with, and it's a priority system almost of which enemies you should take care of before you.
Yeah, that's actually a really good thing. I remember like playing some games, you know, when I was younger, where there was like you just like push buttons and that's like all of it. You just like go forward and there's no like strategy to how to get rid of the enemies. It's just like attacking and pushing as many buttons as possible. And so this is really good that you have to do some thinking as well and strategize.
Yeah, once you get deeper as well and you get access to more skills, you get more comfortable with it, and then you start doing some real fun looking stuff. It's really awesome to watch some of the players that have played much further on and how different their play style is compared to what we've even seen internally from anybody else.
Oh.
And believe it or not, our early levels were significantly harder than this beforehand, so I'm very glad that that change was made at least.
Yeah, that you're not like thrown into the chaos straight away.
Yeah. So from him, you can collect half of your stuff without going back to where you had died, or you can just go retrieve it yourself. But there's always a risk reward there.
Only 1%. I have no hope.
1% of what do you have left?
Yeah.
Oh.
It adds up quickly, I promise, once you get some more equipment. You can also upgrade your weapons here, which will make it a lot easier as well.
Yeah, there's like daggers. It's a spear. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh.
And any hints of where to go right now?
That second waypoint's where you want to be going. That should... There you go.
Yeah, we thought that we should ask just for hints in these. Oh, yeah, here we go. So this weapon changes a lot of the dynamics here, it seems.
Yeah, that final hit for the spear deals significantly more than a lot of other weapons, actually. So we're trying to get kind of people to commit to actually doing their full weapon combos instead of just prioritizing something like the first 2 hits. Or and then that purple armor that just dropped, that'll help the health situation as well, though you will have to manually equip that one.
Oh. Oh yeah. Oh.
And that's one of our recent changes, actually, where we tried to give each weapon a bit more of an identity. So, like that bow there, as you just saw, arrows will pierce through one enemy and go into the next if they're lined up right.
Yeah, that's... Mestari777 is asking, is there a coup?
Co-op?
Co-op.
No,
Oh,
we don't have multiplayer support at all, unfortunately. We focused on the single player, and we just wanted that to be as good as possible.
Co-op on the sequel then? Question mark.
we'd have to see how this does when it launches on Steam, and then depending on feedback, maybe. Nothing's off the table, I don't think.
Yeah, has there been a lot of feedback asking you about these kind of things? Or?
Not multiplayer specifically, no. It's been mostly just like small gameplay tweak requests and other things. And those are kind of on a list that's just building up that we'd like to get to at some point. Right now, we're just trying to make sure that we can launch this on Steam, since that's coming up pretty soon for us.
Yeah, let's hope it goes really well. How close are you to finishing the whole thing?
Our Steam launch is March 1st, and that's coupled with a update for the game on all the other platforms. So we're introducing like a whole bunch of new side content, as well as a new escalating boss fight. So on March 1st, we'll be launching on Steam, and then also pushing out an update to the other platforms around that same time frame.
All right. Yeah, so it's getting the final push.
Yeah, exactly. So this here will give you access to more of the skill tree and some stronger passives that you can use to deal significantly more damage to stuff.
closer. Not even an army could keep Project Hera caged.
I played safe. I need to get better equipment. Yes.
Somebody here is saying that it seems like Dead Cells, but with more RPG elements.
Pretty accurate, I would think. It's similar gameplay wise in terms of like the action combat. We are all big fans of RPGs at the office, I think, so we tried to squeeze in as much of that stuff as we could without kind of going too overboard.
Yeah. Yeah. Same. Person here is saying that I'm really interested. Played the hell out of Dead Cells. Yeah, it's good.
Yeah, that's awesome. I'm hoping that we can get a lot more feedback once the game's out. I'm always reading our Discord, so it's awesome to see all the chatter in there and what people have to say about the game.
All right. So, do you have anything you want to tell us about the game still over here? I think we have been around half an hour, a little bit less, but we can.
For me,
Yeah, if you have some info you want to get out there, or
specifically, if people do try it out, just hit us up on the Discord. I think that's really useful for us since it's a direct communication to us. I read every single message on there and try to respond to as many of them as I can, and we do our best to engage with that community. So any suggestions in there have a very real possibility of making it into any possible future updates. So
yeah, that's really good. They asked it, is this your first game?
not really. So our company was originally focused on mobile titles, I'll say. They have a big hit that's out, My Singing Monsters, for anyone familiar. And this was kind of our first venture back into the console PC space of any kind. It's been, I think, before I even worked there, probably, I don't know, I've been there 6 years, and it was before that they were releasing games on something like the DS and the Wii, and it hasn't been anything since then. So this was our first venture back onto those platforms.
All right. Oh, they're getting. They have like miniguns or something.
Yes. Those guys are dangerous when you get close to them.
Yeah.
We are getting pretty close to a boss fight. It's probably... it depends on the speed, I guess. Maybe like 5 minutes away. Somewhere around there.
I think it's good with this game, you know, that the energy is not like going like whoosh away like that, that you actually can take a significant amount of damage. Also, I never really like those games when you touch something a couple of times and you're done.
It does get significantly harder than this as you get into the later levels, but we did want to kind of introduce you to it a bit slower than that.
Okay, yeah. So these enemies you have, they are like all the time they are sort of getting worse and worse.
Yes, they'll get much more complex and much more difficult as you get further on. These are kind of our baseline where we just wanted to teach you the mechanics. One of the big things that we really focus on later on is just your ability to dodge stuff with the slide.
Ooh. Uh-oh.
So the longer the jump is held, the further you can jump. So if you press and hold it and then time it so that the second jump happens, it'll be a bit longer.
Ah, yeah. And there we learn something new again.
In our original tutorial area, I think we were trying to teach you the mechanics without explaining any of it, and we had basically that exact double jump moment right there without telling the players anything about it, and it was kind of not great. So we had to end up introducing a bunch of text in there to kind of teach people how it all works out.
Someone is asking here, could this be speed run?
Certainly can. I know like the actual time to beat the game for an average player is about 8 to 10, but we do have internal times in the office for those of us who are familiar with the game that is significantly faster than that. So certainly it can, and I'd love to see what the player base is capable of if they do attempt speed running it.
Yeah. This is the fun things to look out for, you know, and
that's where we can find whatever crazy bugs that happen to be overlooked or something if they figure it out. So the boss is just down here, actually.
all right, let's see if we. Oh, yeah.
There'll be some
How
crates
do
you
I
can
get more
break.
heal?
Uh-oh.
This sounds like boss fight. My health bar is so low.
So these
Yeah,
boxes down here actually will heal you a little bit if you break those.
Oh,
There you
thank
go.
God.
We accounted for it.
Ooh. Are you afraid to go there?
Looks like the slumber unit malfunctioned.
Alright, this is a good way to.
This is kind of the first section where we really try to force you to use the slide to dodge attacks.
Oh yeah. Ah. Yeah.
So it's a bit far to get back to the boss, but typically if you hit all the switches on the way, you get a lot of shortcuts that'll get you there, and then it's, a quick little 2-minute, if that, run to get back to that boss.
Yeah, this was a brutal way to end this. All right. Okay, so any final words before?
I'm just hoping that people check out the game. Come talk to us on Discord. We're always reading there. Hopefully people enjoy it as much as we had fun making it.
Yeah, perfect. Thank you so much, and I really hope that everyone out there as well enjoyed this 2.5 hours that we played a little bit more, and hope that you all go subscribe to our channel and check out the games, and yeah, I think we'll see you in the next one. That was all for GDWC Plays here today, and thanks for coming, and thanks to all the other devs as well that showed up and played a little while with us today. And yeah, I'm pretty sure that Mila's gonna continue on to until that boss has been defeated. But yeah, and thank you everyone so much, and see you on the next one.